Hello and welcome to another episode of GOA 365's Story Behind the Story. Now, we have been taking up a lot of issues related to law and order, related to various things that affect our society. Now, today we are discussing an issue which has resonated around the state as well as probably the world. It's about the release of the people involved in as it's known all over, the Bilkis Bano case, wherein convicted murderers and rapists were released due to the largesse of the administration. That's the only thing I can say. To discuss this, we have a very distinguished panel with us, and we will get into more details after I introduce them. Dr. Sabina Martins of Biology. Sabina ma'am, welcome. Amrita Sunita Anand of the Video Volunteers Network. Amrita ma'am, welcome to our show. And Rashida Muzawar, she is of the Goa Muslim Women's Association. Rashida ma'am, welcome to our show. Now, I'll start off with you, Sabina ma'am. You give us a general thing. What exactly is the reason why people are upset? Why? What the whole thing? Why it has reached the stage that it has reached as of now?
First of all, we must know the facts of the case. During the Gujarat riots, a group of men came and attacked of the majority community, attacked the minority community. There gruesome crimes were committed. We had Bilkis Bano, known as Bilkis Bano case. Bilkis Bano was raped, gang raped. They were said something like 22 times, as we are reading a report. She had a baby in her arms. She was like 3 years old. They took the baby and smashed her on the stone. Her mother was raped in front of her. Her sister was raped, and they were all murdered. And members of their family, there were about some 14 murders that took place. Now, Bilkis, after she was raped, and she was 5 months pregnant. That is the thing. So they thought she was. They took her and they flung her, and they thought that she was dead, and she was without clothes. For 1.5 days she was hiding, because when she regained consciousness, she realized what was her state, and then she moved quietly till she reached an Adivasi village. Over there, some women gave her clothes, and a home guard from that area took her to the police station and complained in terms of the registration of case. And from that time onwards, Bilkis has been fighting for justice. Then there was no cooperation, because remember, it has happened in the state of Gujarat, and so complaining against anybody, this of the majority community, they were not accepting, because you see the violence that was there. So they were not accepting the report, but there were few individuals who pursued, registered the case. Then the witnesses were being threatened, and collection of evidence was difficult, because half of them had she was the only one who was living there, and there were another 3 of them who survived that. So the whole process, it happened, and they had to shift the matter. It went to court. From Gujarat it was shifted to Bombay, because of fear of persecution, and there was threats and whatever. Thereafter, the matter went to also to the CBI. Then again, they found people guilty. That was challenged. It went to the High Court. There also, the conviction was upheld, and so on. So she went right up to
they all were convicted. Now what is the issue?
So they were convicted, and they were in jail. Okay, now they were put for life sentence. They had got a life sentence thing. Now a life sentence means they should have been there in the jail. But this Independence Day, they said Amrit Utsav, they decided to release prisoners, and they were given remission. See, now certain prisoners, remission is allowed as per the law. That is, you if they have good behavior or something and all, they can be released. But in according to the new rule, there are two things that went wrong over here. One, you cannot have remission for rapist, especially gang rapist and murderers. Those are of heinous crime. And since over here CBI had investigated and the conviction happened, the permission has to be taken from the center. Okay, so but then these people went up to the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court, they asked for remission. They said they have to appoint, they have a committee at the state level. Now this body which consisted, who looked at the remission, over there they were all belonging to one community, and the BJP MLA was there, the one who made the statement that Brahman sanskari hote hain, that one. So they gave the remission. So
okay, fair enough. Now the issue here becomes of heinous crimes, and the way this basically it's a matter of perception. So what would you want to say about this, Amrita?
See, like Sabina very well explained the whole chronology of the case. It is very important to remember this, like how step by step process happened, and now in a way justice is reversed. So it sends a message to the grassroots, like women who face violence in day to day. One is that Bilkis Banu, she struggled for so long for justice, and her family who supported her throughout, and now the justice is reversed. So what happens to the villagers in that same community, the witnesses, her own family? We have started seeing reports of villagers fleeing the village, Bilkis Banu's village. Then other messages is sent to the grassroots. We all know that how most of the crime against women is not reported. Like we work with a lot of people on the grassroots level, and if the cases of violence come to them, like every 5 cases only 3 will get registered, or even less, depending which part of the country we are in. And some of these fears to report the case is actually how long justice will take.
Yes.
How long the court proceedings will go on, even if a charge sheet will be filed or not filed. In this case, when a prominent case, actually a justice is reversed, it sends a very bad message to all the victims of gender violence. So it's a discouragement. And also for social workers like us, it becomes a very difficult case now to speak to a victim and encourage them to file a case. We are seeing like all-time low in conviction rates. So the data shows us that the conviction rate is all-time low.
More than sorry to interrupt you, Amrita, but more than that, the perception is what you are trying to do. The perception is bad, especially given that, see, I appreciate what the central government, what the Prime Minister is saying, especially in a very Manu Smriti, caste-driven society like us, like no, woman should be empowered, there should be beti, bachao, beti padhao, very, very good messages. But this is a message which goes from our highest leader, but on the ground it looks like something else only, because ultimately it is, forget, I know majority, minority, all those issues taken, but it's a law and order issue. This is gang rape, murder. And what I have seen on TV shocked me. The people are being given pedas. The elected representatives are saying that no, Brahmins are good Brahmins, good. This is ridiculous. Now, Rachita ma'am, you tell me one thing. What would be in your community, as it is, so many of these incidents happen. What would be the reaction?
First I'll thank GOA 365 and मैं सब में पहला बिल्किस बानू से कहूँगी कि हम सब उसके साथ में हैं. She is broken now. अभी 17 सालों से उसने बहुत लड़ाई की, लीगल लड़ाई की, उसके बाद में उसको जस्टिस मिला. और जस्टिस के बाद में अभी सुनने को आ रहा है कि इट्स ऑलरेडी डिक्लेयर हो गया कि उनको छोड़ा गया करके। तो जब भी हमारा पीएम लाल किले से भाषण दे रहा था कि विमेन को, महिला को इज्जत दो, महिला को ऐसा करो वैसा करो, कुछ घंटों के बाद में पता चला कि ये रेपिस्ट और उनको क्या कहना मेरे मुंह से नहीं कर रहा है। ऐसे हैवान है ये लोग, ऐसे हैवानों को, शैतानों को छोड़ा गया। और किस दिन 15 अगस्त को अमृत महोत्सव के दिन छोड़ा गया इनको। ये हम सबके लिए शॉकिंग न्यूज़ थी, खास करके सभी महिला। अभी आप कहेंगे कि हमारे अबाउट मुस्लिम, नो, अब आप देखेंगे ना तो आप देखेंगे ना तो अभी जो बाहर निकल जो आवाज उठा रहे हैं, इसमें ज्यादा आपको मुस्लिम नहीं मिलेंगे, नॉन मुस्लिम मिलेंगे। जिधर भी देखो सब नॉन मुस्लिम ही है। यानी अभी हमारे जो विमेन्स है या जेंट्स है, जो भी हम भारत के नागरिक है, वो लोग भेदभाव नहीं करते। मुसलमान, हिंदू, क्रिश्चियंस में भेदभाव नहीं करते ये लोग रिलीजन में, ये पॉलिटिशियंस करते हैं। आज जब आपने देखेंगे तो सभी न्यूज पे आपको दिख रहा है, कौन दिख रहा है मुसलमान, कौन आ रहा है मुसलमान बात करने को, सभी नॉन मुस्लिम आ रहे हैं, नॉन मुस्लिम सपोर्ट कर रहे हैं। तो आज इसका बिल्किस बानो की आज ऐसी कंडीशन है कि ना वो बात कर सकती, ना खा सकती, ना सो सकती, इस ऐसी कंडीशन है क्योंकि उसने सहा हुआ है। वो औरत ने जो सहा हुआ है, उसको 22 बार रेप किया गया, गैंग रेप हुआ। तो उस औरत ने क्या सहा होगा वो उसको मालूम है, वो हमने, हमारे को नहीं, उसका मालूम पड़ेगा, उसको मालूम है कि उसने क्या सहा होगा। इतनी सब तकलीफ उठा के उसके सामने उसके 3 साल के मासूम बच्चों को पकड़ पकड़ के मारा, जिंदा मौत के घाट उतारा, उसके छोटे प्यारे से बच्चों को। फिर उसकी माँ को उसके सामने रेप किया गया, गैंग रेप हुआ, उसकी बहन को रेप किया गया, उसकी भाभी को रेप किया, उसकी भाभी का 1 दिन का बच्चा था, उसको जिंदा मार दिया। और जो उनके रिश्तेदार थे, भाई वगैरह, उनको इस ऐसी बेरहमी से लोग ने मारा, किसका एक का सर कट करके दूसरे को लगा, दूसरे का इसका, ऐसा कर बेरहमी से मारा। ये सब बिल्किस बानो ने उसकी आंखों के सामने देखा था। और ये लोग ने उसको ऐसी कंडीशन में छोड़ा कि वो मर गई करके उसको छोड़ के चले गए लोग। वो 3 घंटे के बाद में जब उसको होश आया तो उसने देखा अपने आजू बाजू सब कैसे लोग, अपने रिश्तेदार कैसे काट के लोग को फेंका गया है। तो फिर वहां से उसने जाके किसका हेल्प लिया, फिर उसको कपड़ा बिड़ा दिया गया। फिर उसके बाद में उसका ये चालू हो गया, कोर्ट चालू हो गया। कोर्ट चालू होने के बाद में अभी ये लोग ऐसे हैवानों को, ऐसे शैतानों को, ऐसे लोगों को ये लोग रिमिशन देते। रिमिशन क्या है, किसको दिया जाता है रिमिशन? जो ऐसी गैंग रेप करते हैं उसको दिया जाता है। इसमें बोलते वो लोग जेल में ये लोग ने अच्छा बर्ताव किया, अच्छा बर्ताव किए ये लोग। अभी उनको देखो, उनका फोटो देखो, इस पे आ रहा है कि उसमें से एक आदमी को भी ऐसी पश्चाताप नहीं है कि बाबा हमने गलत किया करके। सब एकदम फोटो निकालते, अपना फोटो निकालने के लिए आगे होते कि उसको बोलते तो ऐसा जाओ, और एकदम खुशी में जैसे कि एक कुछ उत्सव हो रहा है उधर। उनको जरा भी कुछ नहीं है, फीलिंग्स नहीं है। ऐसे हैवानों को, जो आदमी को फीलिंग्स नहीं है, उनको वो एक बोल रहा है कि उसको संस्कारी है करके। वो कैसा पागल आदमी है, कैसा आदमी है पता नहीं कि वो उसके मुंह से कैसे ये बात निकली कि वो संस्कारी है करके। संस्कारी ऐसे होते हैं, ऐसे हराम ये लोग, शैतान लोग संस्कारी होते हैं। ऐसी वो अबला नारी को ऐसा उसको बेरहमी से, प्रेग्नेंट औरत 5 महीने की, उसको ऐसी बेरहमी से लोग ने ट्रीट किया, उसको ऐसी रेप करते गए लोग। ये लोग को संस्कारी कहा जाता है ऐसे लोगों को। इस सुनने में भी गंदा लगता है। हम लोग देख नहीं सकते, टीवी पे जो ये लोग का बताते हैं ना, हम लोग देख नहीं सकते, तकलीफ होती है देखने के लिए। क्या में, और ऊपर से उसका सत्कार किया जाता है उसका.
Yeah, that is sad, very sad.
So
actually
that is,
reflects badly on the mindset. See, this is law and order, no doubt. Okay, all these issues happen, but how are we seen? How are we seen? See, today we say we are the 5th largest economy. By 2029 there is some report with 3rd largest economy. Is money is not developed? Is the perception what is seen outside? Is this what we want to be seen as Indians outside?
You know,
I don't know.
I have to make a point over here is what is happening is, now you may say it is not a majority and a minority issue.
It is a law and order.
That is exactly what I'm trying to say is basically rape is used it's like a weapon. They think we are weaponizing it.
Yes.
So today it is in this riot situation, tomorrow it will be for economic reasons, for something else. So
it is happening.
It is happening. So this is what we have to be guard against, you know. One, and two, what we are doing is we are normalizing crime. It is okay that it's happening, or ऐसा होता है, gang rape and murder होता है. And so the message that is going is, yes, crime is happening, system will take its care, फिर उनको अंदर रखेंगे और फिर छोड़ देंगे. No, so this is what is going wrong, you know, and from the state, because as you are keeping on saying this is a law and order thing, so from the state what do we expect?
No, don't misunderstand. What I'm saying is the law and order here has failed
completely.
That is what I'm saying.
Yeah,
don't
completely.
misunderstand. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
That's what I'm saying.
See,
the state is responsible for law and order.
Exactly. Law and order is whose? Is not mine and your thing. Job of law and order is of the state.
Yeah.
Now you are saying, now for example, just we've been reading the news the other days. Just the other day, one boy burnt somebody.
Yeah.
Why? Because she did not want to. Then yesterday somebody put acid and killed. Why is this happening? Now we will discuss this in issues which are more current. I just want to make one point. There are millions of Indians abroad. Millions are there. You see, and I know I'm changing the topic, just to give you an example, just to give you a perception. Now you see in India, you see in the Panjim market, or you see anywhere in India, people will take pan two outside. How many of these Indians do it in the US?
Done.
Why? Because of the fear of the law.
Yes.
See, suppose if the fear of the, now for example, this in the US, this George, he was killed by the cops. What's happened to the cops? The US burnt literally.
Oh, even with Bilkis Banu case, nation has risen up.
I don't think so. I don't think we are so bothered. It doesn't look like.
There was a big, at least in Goa, we had a protest, and people came out on their own. We had more than 300 people.
How many? What's the population of Goa?
Pardon? Yeah, but population is there. But then if you look at the issues that Goa is facing, every day we will be on the streets.
We should.
Okay. So and so doing our work will be on the street. But here people did come out.
Okay.
We had 716 signatures sent.
I have a point about perception. Like when we talk about perception, and like Sabina was mentioning about rape being used as a tool of
weaponizing.
It is a tool used in war, used as a weapon for different things to reach different goals, like mostly heinous goals. So here also the perception, like you're talking about, what is the perception India is sending to its own countrymen who are like outside, own citizens outside the country and globally, right? Yes. Think about the same perception it is sending to actually all the Muslims in India to begin with.
Which is the largest number of Muslims in the world.
Imagine,
120 million.
yeah, imagine if Bilkis Banu was not a Muslim. Yes. Will the same thing happen? Have we ever seen in the history of India a conviction of gang rape being reversed? In fact, I remember very clearly when I was growing up, I participated in a debate about hanging. Should there be a hanging or not, because a rapist was being hanged. That was one of the rarest of rare judgments where a rapist was being hanged, right? So this is years back, right? And now we have come to a point where not one, but many gang rapists, their conviction
Being overturned.
overturned.
Literally.
Right,
And
so
the
it
government
sends
has
a message
some
to all
section-
the Muslims
Yeah.
in the country. And the second perception that we don't talk about enough is what perception it sends, what message it sends to the rapists.
That's my point. Yes.
So in
That is
our
another
own
point I
country,
think.
in
Yes,
our
yes.
own country,
Yes, very clear.
rapist, child rapist, abusers, molesters, like you
Very
walk on the street in
Very
Goa
true.
also and elsewhere in the country also. I have lived in more than 5 states in India. I've worked in many more. There is always molestation
That's
on the
crazy,
road.
yeah, that's
So
crazy.
what is the message we are sending when convicted rapists and murderers are put garland? That's what happened.
Especially in the north states, where this particular government is very strong. You talk about Delhi and the north, the cow belt as they call it. It's crazy here for a woman to roam around after 7 o'clock.
Violence
Even places
is-
like Rajasthan and all.
Why not Goa? Like even in Goa, we organized a protest.
Goa also, absolutely. I
We
agree.
organized a protest at Azad Maidan, right? That Sabina was talking about. More than 300 people came, like the footfall was at any point more than 300. My friends who have grown up in Goa, who live in Panjim, told me their mothers will not allow. And they are the same age like me, which is more than mid-30s, okay? Around mid-30s.
You should not say
So,
that.
no, I have no problem saying my age. Imagine adult women in India, 35 plus and around, need permission from their mother to venture 2-3 kilometers of their radius. So perception is also sent to families across the country.
And this is Goa. You can
Yeah,
imagine.
this is Goa,
yeah.
and the crime rate is going. Even we, like being in Panjim, for look at that line over here. You just can't go. But that again, we are diverting from the. No, I'm saying the environment also has changed so much that women are vulnerable to sexual assault anytime. I mean, it's not that, okay, I'm an empowered woman that nothing is going to happen to me or I will
Yes.
fight. It's not. So therefore, in this Bilkis Banu case, and in fact, we would like more and more people to protest this. Protest the remission. We are demanding that the remission which is given to be revoked immediately, so that the right message goes that the
Yeah, but one thing I want to say, I know normally we don't talk about the courts and the thing, but what was the Supreme Court thinking about, and why hasn't it still taken action?
that
I know we are not supposed to talk about the courts probably.
No, we should, because when
what
judiciary
were they
is
thinking?
failing the
Ultimately,
citizens, we
yeah,
should
when
talk.
the final everything is the apex court. What is
They
it?
should have taken suo moto notice of
Immediately.
this. Yes.
Because ultimately it's supposed to be an institution which is taking care of the country. See, political parties come, political parties go. The country remains, the people remain, the institutions are supposed to remain. It's beyond my comprehension.
I think people have to proactively find out more information. Like the last Chief Justice of India was on its way to like complete his tenure. The current one is only there for 3 months.
Yeah.
But this should not discourage us, and we have
Probably
a
it's good in a way,
postcard.
because then he has nothing to lose. Or
Yeah.
I don't
So
know. I don't know.
we
get
launched
good
a
or bad,
postcard campaign
About?
about writing to the Chief Justice of India
So
on
we-
this
on
issue.
No, but why?
Why not?
No, but why?
Because it's a legal decision
No,
now.
why? I think he's the topmost luminary of the country. Why should you and me need to tell him? He's not aware.
This
of
is how
law.
now some
Accountability
cases
works,
have been filed. Yeah,
See,
this is
you
how
see-
accountability works.
I know,
Like, if
I-
it
his
is not
point
happening.
is
No, my
that
point-
without citizens
Yeah,
protesting,
why?
they should have done it.
Yeah,
Now you tell me,
definitely.
am I going to
Yes.
sit? Am I going to
I-
sit there in front of this and decide? Am I a judge? Have I done my LLB? Have I done my LLM? No. Why do you need to be told that rapists and murderers should be set free? He has to be told. Who has to be told? Sorry,
you
but
have
why
this,
postcards?
you
Why?
know, this position. No, at one level you have a large section saying some section we should hang the rapists, hang the murderers, and here they are being garlanded. I mean, we just have to. You're saying perception,
shocking visual.
very shocking, and the mindset. So you see where the mindset is, and I think that is what has upset the country most.
I hope
Yeah.
country is upset.
What message
I can't
is-
see.
Yeah.
The
Giving for
country being
women.
upset. Country is upset. There would be like riots on the opposite side. Not happening. Okay.
They're waiting for what the Supreme Court will decide.
How long? Another 5
now,
years?
this next week they
Okay,
should.
we'll see. We shall see. We will come back on that after a week and let's see what happens. But see, ultimately, I love my country. I'm sure you all do. I love my state very much. But we want our country, we want our state to be developed. We want our country to be number one. We don't believe in number two. At least I don't believe in number two in anything. So this is very, very bad for the country. Very bad. My issue is only that I'm not against this one or for this one or for X or for Y or whatever. The issue is our country is getting affected by all this. This is my only issue. This is the message I would like to put across in this at the end of this episode. Thanks a lot, ma'am. Thank you very, very much. And I hope to see you all more often on our shows discussing these various issues. Thank you.
Sure.
And guys,
Thank
I think
you.
I don't know. If we all love our country, we should do something to keep it as it is. Thank you and keep watching GOA 365.